Hi Aquarius, this is your forecast for the month of February 2019. This is a general reading for Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, or Aquarius Moon. For a more rounded overview, please watch your rising and moon sign as well. So Aquarius, we start the month off with the Knight of Swords. This is air energy. It could very well be you. It could be Aquarius or a Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this Knight will be important. So this is a week that's going to focus on perhaps travel or communication or your thoughts. And for some of you, there could be some unexpected developments in a situation this week that produces some kind of domino effect. Some of you may be seeking some kind of protection during a difficult time. And this could be a very busy week where you have a lot going on, unexpected situations, a lot of coming and going. And there could be some important event this week that's related to your intellect or some type of conflict. You're likely to be having some new experiences and meeting with new people. And you may be acting impulsively, or situations may require that you take some quick action, a quick solution. So this is a week where you may be very mentally stimulated, and either you are on the defense, you're being aggressive, or you're trying to be persuasive. Could be some restlessness. Again, you may be doing some kind of travel, or you may be trying to get something that you want, because this is a night who refuses to take no for an answer. He goes after what he wants. And for some of you, you may be connecting with people who can help you get what you want. A professional advisor, a lawyer, a judge, somebody who's very clever, a thinker, a communicator. In some cases, this is a resolution by force. You may be dealing with law enforcement or somebody who is forceful in speech or who drags you into some kind of controversy, some sarcasm, a ruthlessness in the pursuit of some kind of goal could be important. For many of you, this is going to be the resurrection of a conflict or a connection. There's some changes taking place, and perhaps something that you thought was over and dead now has new life. So there's a sense of renewal, or you may be making a quick exit and moving on from an old situation. This is about being a champion. And again, being a leader and choosing your battles wisely. Now, you may find that you are very, you have the same ideas with another person, but you're not necessarily in sync with that person. You may be missing them in some way, or you're in the general vicinity but you can't quite come together. Some of you are being very impulsive, very rash. You're moving quickly, and you may surprise yourself by the decisions that you make. You may partner up, you may move in with somebody, you may get married. But for others of you, this is going to be a week of conflict where you cannot get on the same page with another person. It could be, you feel like you're beating your head against a brick wall. You're either trying to start something or end something. There could be issues of anger, or, somebody is trying to control, or there's a troublemaker, or there's aggression. Somebody's being disrespectful, or somebody thinks that they know more than they do. So there could be a battle ahead for you this week where, something takes a turn and it gets rather ugly between you and another person. So again, you may be communicating, traveling, or dealing with some kind of conflict, but an issue is going to resurrect itself, or a partnership or communication. Now, the second week, you have a major card. For some of you, this is another reinforcement that you'll be doing some traveling, having some new experiences, communicating with others. Some of you, this may connect to a child, or it could be, you're starting fresh with regard to something. You're starting anew. Again, it could be some restlessness this week, difficulty in communicating or committing to something. There may be a lack of experience with regard to something. And so you are opening up a new chapter. You're going down a new road, and it may be because of something significant and unexpected that affects your career or your domestic situation. But this is a week that requires you to do a change, a turnabout. You may have to be more original. You may have to think outside of the box. You want to release yourself from any bias to get the most of a situation, and you may be seeking greater freedom. So you are entering a phase where you are trusting with faith, your belief in a higher power, and maybe you're speaking to new people or you're traveling to a new place. Whatever it is, again, doorways are opening, and you stand to gain by being cautious about exploring the opportunities that lie ahead. This is a week where you are ready to go full force. You want to take on more responsibility. You want to be responsible for the life you seek, your happiness, your success. So you may do things that would entail opportunity for you. You may decide you're going to communicate with somebody, something that needs to be said, or you're going to seek out a new job or a better job, or maybe you're going to move or make some important changes, or again, you rush to either start or end something. So you are ready to experience the new because you have a new belief in yourself. And again, because of that, you will have some new experiences and possibly some new people coming into your life. This is a decision perhaps that ties to appreciation, seeking some kind of gratification. Again, you want to do whatever it takes so that you can enjoy life, have greater freedom, be more prosperous, feel content with something. In other cases, maybe you're looking at where you're holding on to something that prevents you from having the freedom that you want. This is a great week to start the new. If you have some new ideas, some plans, some concepts, some goals, set those in motion this week. Introduce yourself. Be out there. Get in the mix. Reconnect with people. Establish acquaintances. People that you know have the influence to help your cause, to advance you, to open those doors for you. But for others of you, you're going to have to look at, some of the choices that you've made where you have rushed into something. You've been impulsive, and because of that, there was a lack of foresight. You used some poor judgment, or maybe you rushed into something and there were some unexpected problems. Or maybe somebody made a quick exit. They didn't follow through on something. So there could be some poor decisions or some gambles or risk taking that doesn't pay off for you. And it may be because you're fooling yourself about a situation. You're going out of your way thinking that if you impress this person, they'll be able to make this connection for you or open this door. Or maybe you're saving a situation that's wrong for you. This is a week to try to strike a balance. Have confidence and faith and be open-minded, but don't be over-optimistic. You have to be practical and use your common sense. And don't allow restlessness or impatience to get the better of you. It could be that you're focused on something that is for your personal benefit or gain, or you want to achieve something, and you totally lose touch with something else, something that's important, like how other people feel, your sensitivity, other people's feelings, their needs. So this is a week of decision making and moving into a new arena. And it may tie to issues that connect to the past. You may want to get away from the past and do something new. It may center around the end of something. Could have been a long-standing situation that's finally you're seeking some closure and some freedom from. It may have to do with parental concerns or real estate or property or possessions, transactions connected to those. Now, the third week, there may be a little bit of confusion. You were optimistic about something. You maybe took a leap of faith and jumped right out there. You may have your head in the clouds. And maybe you're having to make some decisions and you don't know which decision to make. There's so many options. Now, for some of you, maybe you're getting totally creative. You're being original in what you're doing. You're a visionary. You're a dreamer in the positive way. But for others of you, you are struggling to see something clearly. It could be a lot of fantasy or wishful thinking going on, or maybe you're trying to make a quick exit and escape from a situation and not deal with something. Part of any problems you encounter this week may be because you've spread yourself too thinly. You're chasing one thing after another. You're scattering your energy. You may be disorganized in your thinking, in your environment. So you could be operating under some form of illusion, or you're letting your emotions dominate you and become impractical in your choices. Others of you, you're definitely dealing with some form of escapism that may be negative. It's fine to daydream, to get lost in your creativity. This could be an especially prolific time for you if you're creative. You could be coming up with a lot of ideas, creating something. You envision it and you think about how to manifest it. And you may be more psychically aware. So you could be getting some impressions. But for others of you, there's a longing to escape. Perhaps you want to travel, or you're escaping through drugs or alcohol. So you really have to try to sort things out this week, because you could have some wrong perception about something because you're overwhelmed, and it causes you to make some questionable choices. Some of you, maybe you're making decisions about traveling in connection to rain or inclement weather or fog. But others of you, you're making some decisions that may tie to luxury goods, luxury items. Whatever it is, you're going to have to look closely at something, because you're out of balance somewhere. Either you overestimated or you underestimated a situation, somebody, or something, for better or for worse. So you're having to reevaluate a couple of your relationships to determine where you are. And this is a week that requires you to be flexible to try to maintain a balance, because one thing going off track could throw everything up in the air, for better or for worse. Now, for some of you, this is a week where you're going to do something new. You're going to rearrange a situation, and you're going to prioritize. You recognize what comes first, and you have the wherewithal to tackle those things first. And because of that, you may be pleasantly surprised at the end of it all that you have more free time to commit to whatever it is that you enjoy. So you may be able to take what appeared to be a losing situation and turn it around and come out a winner. And in fact, this week you are receptive and open to opportunity, and it comes to you when you tap into that intuition. You may be moving in a new direction, but you have to be careful that you're not naive and running after an illusion. Some of you, perhaps there's some confusion because you've doubled booked in some way, or someone connected to you has. And because of that, apologies are in order, excuses. You may have to stand in for somebody at home or work or both. And because this is a card of illusion, you may be pulling sleight of hand this week. You may be trying to make things appear the way you want them to, and you're trying to convince everybody that things are rosy when nothing could be further from the truth. So this is about getting clear, cutting through all those options and deciding what is most important, because the longer you put something off because you don't want to confront it, the harder it is for you to get focused and have the time you need to enjoy what you do want to do. So circumstances are going to make you feel like you're playing catch up, that you don't have enough energy, time, money, emotion. You're running short. And it's possibly, again, because you've got too many irons in the fire. Your hand is in too many pots, when if you had taken the time to deal realistically with a situation, you would have been okay. Now, the last week you have this Knight of Pentacles. So you are trying to make some progress, and you may be doing that. Some of you, there could be some confusion with regard to the details, or you could be putting the finishing touches on something creative. Others of you, there's a focus that maybe there's the disappearance of something where you were trying to make progress. You may be connecting to people who deal with finance. Could be money managers, accountants. Maybe, you're trying to get something repaired. So you may be dealing with a craftsperson or a mechanic. You may be trying to move in a new direction and you want to connect to somebody that works in your industry. This could also be some business travel that you're doing. So this is a week where if you were unorganized, you may decide to prioritize and deal with something very methodically. You may be offering a service, or you may be dealing with service-oriented professions. You are very work-oriented this week. You're willing to put in hard work, do your due diligence. It could be, though, that something you're working on, especially if you're trying to be creative, maybe it lacks imagination, because this is a knight who moves slowly, and that could be an issue, somebody moving too slowly. And he may not be able to come up with new ideas. Other cases, though, he's very good at designing something. And he's very good at seeking out pleasure. So for some of you, this is creative. You're working out the details. You may be a craftsperson. You may be trying to create some kind of sensual experience. You may be working with your hands on something. This could be, in your garden, dealing with the earth, something that you use your hands to create beauty or substance. Others of you, maybe you are out in the weather. You're, involved with nature or with animals in some way. So this is a week of trying to make some progress, albeit slow. There's some kind of result that you're seeking that is tangible, and you may be getting some unexpected income. So you're trying to improve your finances by being more sensible, by not scattering your energy as much. And you're being very dependable, perhaps conservative about something. If this is a relationship, though, maybe somebody has double booked, and there are issues of faithfulness, loyalty, devotion in a situation that's coming up. It could be that there's a secret affair taking place. But the focus is on the long term, being dependable, being steady. And so you may be trying to sort out how you can produce some kind of result that you can depend on. Now, for some of you, again, you may find yourself in a situation where opportunities are opening up for you socially, financially, romantically, and you are interested in people who are not, disappearing overnight. You can't find them. They're evasive. You're uncertain. You're looking for what's steady and reliable. You're not looking for live in the moment. This is a week where you're very patient. You have the ability to focus, to concentrate, and to work on those details that matter, that are going to give you some results economically, emotionally, and as far as your security. And you're taking stock of your behavior, the past, things that you do that you take for granted, maybe where you spend a little bit too much or you haven't invested enough, whether that's your money, your time, or your emotions, and looking at that bottom line to see what it costs for you. So you're trying to manifest something with your personal will. You're very focused this week. But for others of you, you may be stuck in some kind of scarcity mentality or a leaded way of thinking. You may want to get going on something. You may be excited. You may be putting your faith in it. And somebody may be dragging their feet or throwing water on it. They're the wet blanket. They're pessimistic. So either you're playing that role or someone else is. It could be an earth sign person. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of the knight. Now, what is driving everything is this strength card. So for some of you, there's a strong tie to a Leo person. For others of you, maybe this is a connection to nature. You're connecting with your animal, or maybe you are, trying to build up your health or your muscles, or you're connecting with healers in some way. This is a month where using your willpower, your confidence, your conviction to work out problems, to negotiate, is going to be important. You may be becoming more comfortable with yourself. Whatever drives your ego, your creativity, your sexual appetite, your instincts, and even your shadow self. You're coming to know yourself better. And so strength is important. The strength of your communication, the strength of your income, your ability to make some progress. And maybe you're also using your communication skills to persuade or influence others. Once again, steadfastness, loyalty, inner strength is going to be important. And either you're focused on healing, good health, recovery after some illness, or personally empowering yourself by becoming more self-reliant. You are harnessing your desires. And this could be a month where occasionally you may need to take a time out, especially if you're scattering your energy into too many places. You may need to get a focus in order to regain your security, your peace of mind, your confidence about something, because this is a month where self-doubt could threaten your position, especially if you are confused or you have too many options. You may have a fear of failing at something, or that whatever you're producing may be rejected, or you're going to be rejected by another person, or you're going to be standing alone, or people are going to be angry with you. And so it causes you to cave and not stand up for yourself, or not stick up for what you want, what you deserve, what you desire. And getting that balance is going to be important, because you're walking this tightrope between the physical and the mental this month, where that may wear on you if you don't have a balance. You may end up, having some illnesses that directly tie to your level of stress. And you may also create some problems in your relationships because you're angry or you're frustrated. This is a month to have faith in yourself if you've been doing your best. If you gave it your all, this is a month where, regardless of what happens, you know that you gave it your all, and you can have peace of mind because of that. This is also a month where, again, you could be highly intuitive. You could be getting some psychic impressions, and it may be important to jump out there and take a risk, because your intuition could pay off. You're very accurate right now, especially when you take that time out to get into nature, go for exercise, walk, connect with animals, and the answers that you seek seem to somehow magically arrive. Now, this is also about getting your ego in check and knowing, when to accept responsibility for a situation, knowing when to open yourself up to good advice, and not closing off just because you don't want to see the truth or you don't want to hear what someone's saying. This is about having the faith of that Fool card to move in a new direction and not let the past cheat you out of the future that you're hoping for. And this could very well center around something that you feel passionate about, your desire, your love, where you may be rushing into a situation, whether it's well grounded or not. It could be about following your bliss, finding your passion, whether that's your creativity, your life pursuit, or romantic endeavor. Now, this is going to tie perhaps to your partnerships, your relationships, and in some cases where you recognize that people are out in the open and they're not for you. You're looking at your destiny, your future, and the people that tie to that, and the long-range goals. And this is a month where security, where you stand, creating a foundation for something, is very important to you. Something about your circumstance requires that you pay attention to that detail, because timing is critical. And it may tie to some promise that needs to be kept, an invitation to an event of some sort. And also, perhaps in some cases, there is a legal or court case, or you're seeking protection, or there's rivalry, or there are conflicting missions, because the Swords wants to rush into something and the Knight of Pentacles wants to slow things down. You have two major cards, the Fool and the Strength. So the strength of a decision or something new that ties to your creativity, your passion, your inner conviction. Some of you, this may take the form of a revolutionary spirit, a progressive mind. You may be seeking to reform something. There may be ties to technology. And it could be excitement or upset. And for some of you, you may be looking at being innovative, being an inventor, being the rebel. So there could be some mental ruthlessness in the pursuit of something, but then something softens you up. You are tapping into the feminine principle, whether you're male or female, and allowing yourself to relax a little bit and enjoy the softness. You are using your intuition in decisions and perhaps trying to consider all sides. Some of you are dealing with warring parties. And the key is adaptability and flexibility. You may be facing some type of long shot proposition, but you may surprise yourself. It could be that your back is against the wall, the odds are against you, and you adapt. And you adapt because you have to. There's no other choice, but you may surprise yourself with the result of that. And this is going to be a month that ties to your ambitions. And because it ends on this Knight of Pentacles, you may not be making the final call unless you have strong earth energy. All right, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your comments and don't forget to subscribe. You can also support me on Patreon, join me on my blog for a daily update, on Instagram, and over at Vimeo.